Hey everyone, Dr. Nelson here. Today's lesson is about how to solve multi-step equations. So on the first page of your notes, I want you to copy down what I do, and then you'll have a chance to do a few problems on your own. And then finally, you can see how you did. All right, so let's take a look at your notes here. And the key thing to remember with this is before you solve, you want to simplify both sides of the equation. Okay, so when I say both sides, we're talking about both sides of the equal sign. So this side and also this side. So the left-hand side looks pretty simplified to me, except the right-hand side, I believe we can definitely simplify this. So we're going to have to use the distributive property, right? So negative 4 times negative 6x will be a 24x. So write that down, please. And then a negative 4 times negative 3 is 12. And that's going to equal a 12 on this side. All right, so now we're just going to solve the equation. Okay, so we're solving for x. So remember, let's get rid of the constant first. So take away 12 from both sides. So now we have 0 on this side equals 24x. And now we need to divide both sides by 24. And which means these cancel out. So x is going to equal 0. And there's our solution, okay? And again, if we take our answer, plug it back in, you notice that this side would equal 12, and as well as the other side equals 12. All right, example number 2 is a little more challenging because look at the left-hand side here. There's a lot of steps. So I'm going to use a different color for this one. So step number 1, we have to distribute the negative 3 to the 4x and then also the positive 3. So negative 3 times 4x is going to be negative 12x. And then negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. And then plus, now we have to distribute the 4 to the 6x and the 1. So 4 times 6x is 24x. Plus 4 times 1 is 4, which equals 63. All right, but we can still simplify the left-hand side here. So negative 12x and 24x gives us a 12x. And negative 9 and positive 4 gives us a negative 5, which equals 63. So now we need to solve the equation. So first we're going to add 5 to both sides. So we have 12x now equals 68. And we're going to divide both sides by 12. And these cancel out. So now we need to figure out how many times does 12 go into 68. And we know, let's see, 12 times 5 is 60. So it's going to be 5 and 8/12, which really reduces down to 5 and 2/3 equals x. All right, so the main thing to remember about this problem is we first had to simplify the left-hand side of the equation, and then once that was done, we could solve. All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to try the problems on the next page, and then when you're done, continue watching the movie to see how you did. All right, good luck. All right, welcome back. Let's see how you did with the practice problems. So the first problem we have is 5 plus 2 times 1 minus 4a equals negative 23. All right, so again, we need to simplify the left-hand side before we solve. So I'm going to distribute the 2 to the 1 and then also the negative 4a. So that's going to be 2 and then minus 8a plus 5. It's going to equal negative 23. And now 5 plus 2 gives us 7. So 7 minus 8a is going to equal negative 23. I'm going to add, take away 7. Or how about this? I'm going to add a negative 7 to both sides, which is the same as take away 7. So now we have negative 8a equals negative 30. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8. And let's see, that's going to be a positive answer. So let's see, 8 goes into 30 3 times with 6 left over. So it's going to be 3 6/8, which is equivalent to 3 3/4. All right, number 2 is a little bit more in length because, again, we need to simplify both sides. So -5 times 4x is going to be a -20x. And then -5 times a -2 is +10. And that's going to equal -2 times 3 is -6. And then -2 times 6x is -12x. All right, now notice we have a variable on both sides, so we need to eliminate one of them. So I'm going to add 20x to both sides. And now we have 10 equals -6 plus 8x. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So now we have, let's scroll down a little bit more here. Now we have 16 equals 8x. And lastly, divide both sides by 8, which means x is going to equal 2. And there it is. All right, how'd you do?